Now may I invite Mr. Chris Chau, Lead Sales Engineer, Cloud Networking of Citrix, to share his insight on managing the unmanageable. Mr. Chau, please.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. I think most of you guys still having your snacks and tea or coffee or something. That's fine, okay, because time is running out. I'm very casual actually, so you guys can listen to my presentation and also at the same time enjoying your snacks and tea or something. Or maybe you can grab me some also. I'm very welcome, okay? So thanks you guys. Still stay here for my section. I'm Chris Chau. I'm focusing in our NetScaler networking business, Citrix NetScaler networking business in Hong Kong. So I'm the pre-sales, I'm the lead sales engineer. So today I'm going to share with you some insight regarding to our network security perspective. In our network security perspective, talking about how to manage something you are unmanageable. Okay. So because aligned today mobility concept or topics, so we are talking about a lot of mobile devices, mobile application or something. So what do we mean by unmanageable? So surely, I think when we talk about unmanageable with mobility topic, you guys must think about all these kinds of mobile devices. That's true. Mobile devices is one of the unmanageable stuff in our IT perspective. And we are, as an IT admin or IT man, we are very afraid of seeing too many of these devices or unmanageable stuffs because we can't control it. They are out of our admin domain, so we need to take care of those things in order to ensure the performance, ensure the security, ensure the flexibility, something like that. So today, I'm not only talking about the unmanageable devices. On your devices, you must have so many different kinds of applications, just like Daniel mentioned before. So we have a lot of unmanageable application software or something. And no matter on your handheld device or on your PC or desktop or laptop or something. So we can't control it. So there may be some vulnerabilities, there may be some danger which will attack or affect your networks or your data or applications. So we kind of think about is how to manage the device when it enter your network and access your applications and data. And also, with different kinds of mobility, we will have different kinds of accessing media. Regarding to the connectivity, we have Wi-Fi, we have LTE, we have 3G, we have Bluetooth, something like that. Talking about the Internet of Things, you can have your AirWatch, not AirWatch, sorry, your iWatch connecting to your network, to your data center, accessing your device. So these kinds of network connectivity, you must have something to secure it. Okay, encryption is one thing. Okay, so we must talking about encryption later on. And lastly, we will adopt the cloud computing, cloud networking space. So you will have listened, you have heard the name like IaaS, like SaaS application or something like that. So whether your company or your organization need to adopt to this cloud computing space, security is also one of the major points you have to consider. So today's I'm going to talk about the unmanageable stuff, all related to these kinds of things. So I will cover these things. First of all, how do we handle the unmanageable things? So first of all, we must make it manageable. So we need to avoid any IT bypass. What does it mean by IT bypass? That means some backdoors, letting your customer, your colleagues, your employees to go through your applications, to access your application, your data, bypassing any of your security parameters. And the other thing is, when we talk about this, we hope that we will cover some of the networking risk and how can we to handle it to tackle such risks. And also, that will touch the third point. That name, contextual access, have been mentioned by Daniel before. So I will further talk about it, how our solution can provide you the contextual access. And also, after you have a very secure front door, a very secure gateway with an encrypted connection or something like that, how do you to ensure your application itself is secure? Okay, how do you ensure your data, your sensitive data, will not be easily tapped or stolen by the other parties? Okay, so the final thing is I will talk about some key points. Okay, hope that after you leave this room, you will still remember what I say, the best practice to protect what you matter. So the first thing, talk about the IT bypass. So IT bypass, why do we have the IT bypass issue? Because mobility. Okay, mobility is one thing. So your BYO device, people like to bring their own laptop, their own PC. No PC. No one will bring their PC back to office. Okay, your device, your handheld or something. So this kind of device, because it cannot be managed by the corporate, because it is not the corporate device. It cannot be monitored. It cannot be scanned, okay, by your corporate compliances or some regulations. So that may be a vulnerability, a point for the IT bypass. And also open Wi-Fi, because we allow people to access our corporate information in Starbucks or Cyber Cafe or in Mira Hotel or something. So we don't know this Wi-Fi security. Open Wi-Fi may be some security black spot, okay, letting the hackers or something to hack your machines and tackle your and get into your network. Another thing is the access control. Okay, access control is also some kind of IT bypass. Just like Daniel mentioned, if you just control the access by username and password, no matter how many factors of username and password you have used, you still have something. You still have the risk letting a kind of person in a untrusted network using an untrusted PC or device accessing some sensitive information. So that's a dilemma, whether you allow them access externally to affect the productivity, or you want to improve the productivity, but maybe have some security risk. So in Citrix, we try to give you some solution, trying to leverage these two kinds of dilemmas to make it smoothly and securely access your corporate data via any kinds of networks in anywhere. So after that, that means our applications, our data can be accessed anywhere securely. We hope we will, you need to think about your application security, okay, whether your application is totally encrypted or encrypted securely. Okay, what do I mean? The encrypted securely, I will talk about it later. Okay, so hope that finally, to avoid any IT bypass, all kinds of sensitive data must be encrypted and will not be exposed. That's the final thing, or the final target we want to achieve. So talking about the risk and countermeasures, we need to see that, I want to say Mandarin, okay? For example, contextual access. We will think about using some gateway product, okay, our NetScaler gateway, to do some kind of multi-factor authentication to give you some authorization and auditing. Okay, report is very important. And at the same time, because I will do so many kinds of different kinds of authentication or very strict password security or something, we hope that we will optimize the user experience. We don't want the user will think that I will log in here, log in there, okay, using our handheld device, my virtual keyboard, keying 16 characters password, okay, very complicated, something like that. So single sign-on is a must, okay? We just want our user can log into our box once and can access all the applications and data securely and don't need to sign on multiple times, remember different kinds of username and password. Or on the other hand, we don't need to pass all the username, password or the password management to the end user to let them manage their password and username and for different kinds of application by themselves. Okay, so we can hide all these complexity behind and let our user have a better user experience. Okay, and also in our gateway solution, we hope that our application can be accessed securely, automatically establish a application-based tunnel, our micro VPN. So once when you just like Daniel demo when he used his iPhone to turn on his email, he don't need to log on once again. He don't need to open a SSL VPN apps to establish the SSL VPN tunnel because all the application-specific micro VPN tunnel have been embedded in the apps. Okay, so he just need one click, and all the application can be accessed securely. And we have our web application firewall. You can make it physically or virtually to protect your web applications. And also our NetScaler can deal with some kinds of DOS or DDoS attack. So no matter your application can be accessed via different kinds of authentication and let the user get into your network. But if your application is weak, if your application is vulnerable, that means that guy can, just like insider threat, can attack your application via a secure channel. So your applications, your infrastructure still need to be secure. So first of all, talking about the contextual access, okay. Our contextual access means that we don't just depend on the username and password. Whether this user can be logged in to access what kind of applications and how they access the application, we need to depend a lot of criteria, okay, a series of criteria, like what device you are connecting in, okay, what network you are using, okay, whether your device can pass our endpoint analysis, whether you need single sign-on, something like that. And once you have successfully authenticated, we will assign you what sort of application you can be accessed at that time. Okay, like still Chris Chau, okay, but I'm using my home PC via unsecure network. I can just access email, okay. But if I using the same username password, Chris Chau, but I'm accessing the network, accessing the applications in our office using my Office PC, I can access all kinds of applications, even CRM applications, even finance applications, something like that. So that means the contextual access. We will depend on 5 W's. Who are you? What you are going to access? When? Okay. During office hour or non-office hour? Where? You are accessing in the internal network, external network, okay? And why? Okay, so we can apply all these policy in the time of need. When you need it, okay, we can configure the policy to make it in your gateway. So anytime the user access the same FQDN, the same URL, trying to access your applications, all these policy will be applied. So that is our unified gateway. Okay, we will provide endpoint analysis to ensure that your device, your laptop, your Mac PC, something like that, is secure according to the company regulations or policies. And then we will do authentication. We will do the federated authentication. That means we can do the single sign-on via SAML, okay, to not only single sign to internal applications, but external. So we have some use cases using our NetScaler for single sign-on to internal, maybe like SharePoint applications. But at the same time, from the same gateway, we can do a single sign-on to Office 365. Okay, so no matter user or trying to access internal application or external application, even the cloud-based application cannot be controlled by us. Okay, by you, I mean, by the admin. We can still use the same device to do the federated login, and then see whether you can have the access to the old Office 365. So this kind of contextual access, we can apply to our SSL VPN solution. We can apply to our ICA proxy, our stand up, stand desktop secure gateway, and also to our micro VPN for our stand mobile solution. We can also do it as a simple web SSO, and as I said, the SaaS SSO. So here comes to an example, okay? Some users on the left-hand side, they're using his laptop, trying to access some corporate information. You want to check the email, actually. So he will open a browser, browse to their corporate URL, okay? The single URL, okay? The same URL. And he will get the log-on point. Okay, the log-on point, username, password, single factor, two-factor, multi-factor, whatever. That's okay. Once he log in, for example, it is an internal user. He using an internal username to log in, checking with the AD. We see that, okay, he has the right to access the internal OWA. So he got the single sign-on to the OWA. But at this time, it is a contractor, for example. He access to the same portal, but log in with a external username. External username, as I said, cloud user, okay? Still the same URL, but with a different username according to AD group or something. We know that, okay, we will redirect him to the Office 365. I can't see clearly, actually. This is the URL. We redirect it back to the Office 368 and single sign-on to the SaaS applications. So at first, previously, we won't think about it because Microsoft Office 365 is a SaaS applications. They're login, they have their own login. We won't control it. Okay, we can't control it actually. But now with NetScaler, okay, you can do the federated login with the same single URL, login with different username and password for different authentication and authorization. We will authorize him to use internal apps or external apps also. So that's the unified gateway. Single URL, log in once, and you can access all kinds of applications, no matter it is an internal web, SaaS web applications, SSL VPN, ICA proxy for stand up, stand desktop, or even the micro VPN for our stand mobile solution. Okay, same device, same URL, but we will have different kinds of access control to let you select your applications. So secure, contextual access, and good user experience because they don't need to remember different kinds of web link for SSL VPN, ICA, and Office 365 or something. Okay, it is very helpful and user-friendly to your end users. So, a secure access has been done. So we will talk about the network security and application security. So in the network security, I think most of the attack nowadays are coming from, first of all, is coming from DDoS. Okay, so our NetScaler can provide some kind of DDoS protection because based on QoS, based on rate control to make sure that even though the attacker is we can't stop the attacker from attacking you, okay, because they are also the unmanageable stuff. But we try to do that, we try to achieve that during the attacker is attacking you, you still have the bandwidth, you still have the processing power to let your legitimate user getting in. Okay, so that's our way to do the DDoS protection and also DNS protection. So I'll have another example. Okay, here comes a attacker. Okay, on left-hand side. Okay, trying to DDoS our NetScaler. Your network. Okay, your network is being protected by NetScaler. Okay, so they're attacking the NetScaler, and at the same time, some legitimate users are trying to access your company resources via the NetScaler at the same time. So before any protection, the hacker firing the get flood, the DDoS traffic attacking your site. Okay, so actually, surely our NetScaler won't down. Okay, I'm Netscaler still okay. But as you see that, when he fire the attack, it will bump up your bandwidth, your internet bandwidth. 700 megabit per second is very easy. Okay, if we calling some political issue, some political campaigns last year, they are talking about 3,000 gigabit or 3 gigabit per second attack and DDoS attack, and let some newspaper website cannot be accessed. Okay, so it is very easy, but my company, our organization running had just 10 meg or 20 meg or something. Running, I mean bandwidth. So that means it will occupy all the bandwidth and won't let your other legitimate user from getting in. So he's trying to bump up 500 connection into a DDoS connection and has 100 megabit per second bandwidth occupied. But with Netscaler, we have a HTTP DOS solution. When we enable it, we will then block all those DDoS traffic and trying to stream down your attack rate so that we can reduce your bandwidth usage, your attacking traffic capacity, and let them have enough room for the legitimate user from getting into your network. And you can see that the connection has been dropped from 500 connection and back to tens or something. Okay, so that's the operation for the Netscaler, trying to protect your network or your resources from being DDoS. Okay, that's one kind of protection method I show you here. So just want to say that Netscaler helping you to provide you a secure gateway, secure logon point, and at the same time can protect your network from some legitimate, targeted attack to your applications or network. So another targeted attack to your network is your application attack. So in our Netscaler, actually, we also bundle with a web application firewall. So this web application firewall not only protect your HTTP, your real website being viewed by your web browser, but if you are writing some mobile applications, as you all may know, the mobile applications, mobile apps, actually in the back end is also a HTTP or HTTPS server running some applications. Okay, just the client is your web apps, is your mobile apps, not your browser. Okay, the difference is just like that. So our web application firewall can also protect your mobile apps infrastructure. Can also protect your mobile apps infrastructure. So that's one point I want you to remember, that Netscaler can also protect your application security, free from all kinds of HTTP or even XML attack. And also we can do encryption and decryption to make sure that even though it is encrypted traffic, even though it is in HTTPS tunnel, we can still decrypt it, and scan it, and make sure that it is clean, and then we can re-encrypt it and pass it to your web server, your application server. So it is very useful, very secure product, okay, from your front door, your gateway solution, to your DDoS network-wise attack solution, and finally end up to your application layer protection. Netscaler can do all that. So finally, we are talking about the encryption. Why I say that previously, I said that you need to encrypt it. You need to encrypt it safely, and some of that I forget my message. So I just want to say that as you heard, I think you are very familiar with all these attacks. All these attacks are coming from SSL vulnerabilities. HTTPS, we all think that it's very secure, okay, all the times. But in last year, in the early this year, we have heard so many SSL vulnerabilities that happened. Okay, we will just brainstorm us trying to say that at the end SSL is not secure. So in our Netscaler, we can have some so-called best practice for you to tune your SSL setting. Like We will disable the SSL version 3. We will enable TLS 1.2. We will remove the RC4 cipher, but enable ECDHE, encrypted curve cipher. Okay, it is very, very useful for mobile access because ECDHE, just say some more technical things, ECDHE is very useful for mobile access for SSL encryption because it is very power saving. It is good in power saving. So if you want to write a mobile app running securely and also trying to save the handheld device power, energy to something like that, okay, you need to enable this ECDHE for your SSL, mechanism. And also, we can also enable some different kinds of security settings enhancement in SSL. So finally, our NetScaler can get you a grade A SSL quality. That's report we are getting from Qualys SSL. Qualys is a vulnerability scanner vendor. I think some of you may know. It hosts a website called www.sslabs.com, and you can key in any maybe your organization's website into it, and you will check your SSL settings, your SSL certificates settings, whether the grading, to give you a grading, and some vulnerabilities happen there. And our NetScaler, with proper settings as said before, can get the grade A settings, okay, in a customer site. Okay, so that's I want to share with you. With NetScaler, you can get a good gateway, network security, application security, and also we will put you with a strong encryption, with a safe encryption probability. So finally, from using our NetScaler, okay, our networking solution, we will give you a good access or secure access from any kind of device via different kinds of application or connection, whether you are accessing normal SSL VPN or our mobility solution, Unmanageable, or BDI to your company network. Okay, we will give you all kinds of security measures like contextual access, SaaS control, and also web application firewall protection, something like that. So some keywords, some key things I hope you guys will remember after that. How do we protect our network? We just need to protect what we need to what matters, okay? First of all, trying to think in this way. All your client device is unsecure, is untrusted. So you need to use some kinds of means to make sure your client access is authenticated and encrypted. In some of our customers, they will think that the perimeter, the security, the untrusted or trusted perimeter is not setting in the internet gateway, but in the data center front door, okay? Anything outside the data center is unsecure, okay? So we need to use a gateway solution to make sure that all your client access to your data and application need to be secure, okay? Also, we need to achieve SSO, single sign, because we have a strong authentication gateway here, but we don't want to hinder your client's access, your client's experience. So we hope that SSO can improve your client experiences, especially using your mobile device with virtual keyboard or something. And we can have application-specific micro VPN, our application firewall, and with our SSL settings, we can do strong encryption to help you to encrypt everything whenever that thing is flowing out of your data center. So once again, related, recalling to what Daniel said, our next Citrix solution can give you virtualization with our Center Stop and containerization with our Unmanageable or Works share file solution. And finally, our NetScaler can give you the secure networking. To just like what the banner said at the back, Citrix is the only vendor can give you a solution to let you access your workspace securely. Okay, that's why that's all I want to say. So if you need anything more, you can freely to come and talk with us, or maybe you can access our website. We have tons of white paper to show you how we can secure your remote access, your mobile access, your web application, something like that. So that's the end of my presentation. Thank you.